Happy New Year, everyone. This is Andres Segovia, and this is the Andres Segovia Show podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope all of you had a safe, healthy, a productive, heartwarming holiday season. Whether it's Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah. Kwanzaa's not a real holiday, so I'm not going to say that. But the point is, I really hope you enjoyed your time. I know it's also one of the loneliest times for a bunch of people that might find themselves alienated from family. I have friends like that too, which is why I either invite them over to my place or I make sure to connect with them if they're not in town for whatever reason, and just to make sure that they're okay. That's what the holidays are all about, to remind people that they're cared for, and they mean something to someone. And I'm one of those, because I've been there. And if you haven't known about that about me, then you're probably one of the newer listeners to the Andre Segovia Show podcast. Because yes, this is a business podcast, this is a tech podcast, but I also talk about life, because it's important to be real. I'm sick of these cookie cutter podcast and YouTube channels. They're all doing the same thing. They're all reacting. I introduced the reaction thing to a segment to my show, but that's because I wanted something original for my program, and it's a real estate broker and an Angelino, because I'm from Los Angeles, I'm native Angelino, reacting to people making fun of LA, like how much of this is true to life, and a lot of times they're pretty spot on. So that's what I've enjoyed. I like poking fun at myself too, so I can take a joke at California and especially LA's expense. Oh man, that's just even funnier. So I do react to those. I introduced that segment. It's my most popular segment on real estate. But there were some things that I wanted to change up. I felt that I needed to for this year. And it requires me doing more stuff like this. And so this is an audio only podcast that's on the podcast only. And so if you're subscribed on any of the distributors, then you're listening to it there. But there was a piece of the puzzle that I couldn't do because I was staying away from like the plague, and now I'm involved in it. I'm active and I'm verified, and that is Twitter. Twitter was the puzzle piece to complete a lot of my automation and a lot of my projection of content, where if I post it to Twitter, there are different services that I can use that pick up the tweet and spread it everywhere to the platforms that I'm on, such as Telegram, other different social medias, or even link it to my most active social medias like Instagram, and even my websites and my podcast host, that they can automatically tweet and send everything out. So automation is very important. It's very key for me this year. That's where technology works to help you, not against you. And that's just it. That I've always preached about working smarter, not harder. And this is the year that I want to bring more content to you and tapping into my credentials. So for the newer person, I'm a real estate broker in Southern California. I've been licensed for several years. I've been active for most of those years. I deal with a niche part of the market. I'm not exactly always out there promoting myself, but I have promoted myself here on my show. I've done free consultations and things like that. But also, I use this professionalism to talk about what's happening in California and how it affects real estate. I did not ever mean my show to become political by any means. That's what the show used to be. I didn't want to do that for my show when I came back, but a lot of people see it as political. So I'm like, dude, I'm not hiding who I am. I'm telling you what's what. But the thing is, when talking about policies that affect your wallet, that affect your property, whether it's private or public, these are the things that you need to know about. And because it's my job, it affects my industry, some people were taking it as a left or right issue. I'm like, man, if you want to see your wallet as a left and right issue, fine, so be it. Both parties are digging into your wallet anyway and mismanaging your funds. I'm calling it out for what it is, and I'm trying to pick the person or parties that are better suited to help you keep more of your hard-earned money. And because I live in, the People's Democratic Republic of California, of course, I was going to get more people saying that I am not of that sort. It's like, oh, you must be one of those conservative Republican MAGA types out there. And I was like, and if I was, so what? So what? What's that got to do with anything? You want to judge me based on labels? Okay, then fine. I'll judge you based on labels too. Treat others the way you want to be treated. But here's the thing. On my show, I welcome everybody to tune in. Whether you agree with me or you don't agree with me, and believe me, I had everyone from all sides come at me over the past 18 months, and it's been glorious. Because, like, dude, I'm still gonna do me, okay? I'm not gonna change just because people get offended about what I say, or I have a hot take on this because some tech stuff didn't go their way. It's like, hey, I, like I said, I'm me, and I'm gonna stay me. I'm used to being the least popular opinion anywhere I've been. I'm used to being ridiculed a lot for bucking the trend my entire life, and I'm not gonna change now. So I'm just gonna keep going. And it's through that I've earned respect from a lot of people, and especially some of my peers. And I've gotten the attention of a lot of bigger accounts and influencers that have noticed me because, like, this guy is legit, and I appreciate that. So there's some that figured out that, hey, you know what, he actually gets it when talking about certain topics, and I don't say to thump my chest or anything. I'm just putting this out there that I lean into this. But if I give the impression that my show is about politics, first off, I don't apologize for it. But that also means that you're not entirely tuning in to the entirety of my show, because I cover a lot more things. And I'm trying to streamline a lot of it, because sometimes there's some things that only make it to the video platforms and don't make it to the audio. And in this case, this audio podcast is only making it to the podcast, not to the video platforms. And it becomes a little frustrating because, like, how do I get these things bridged? And that's why I say that Twitter is intended to be that bridge, because I want to return to microblogging. And I am producing articles that I'm posting on my website. These are research articles. These are they're not lengthy or anything of the sort, because I don't have that kind of time, especially when I'm writing books of my own. And I've just finished my last, not my final, but my last novel, to my Many Misadventures of Enoch Bellagio. That's one of the reasons I haven't been as active right now, because I took a purposeful hiatus because I needed to finish the book. I hate unfinished business. So I finished the book. I'm waiting for the cover, the release dates to be determined, but I'm excited to announce that soon, and I'll be doing a giveaway on that on my locals. So go to locals.com, find my community, or find it on my website. You'll be able to be linked over there to participate in the giveaway, among other things that I do there, such as exclusive shows, Soundtrack Corner, Creator Corner. I have guests, I have exclusive episodes. I have the show within the show, which is Off the Record, where I just talk everything politics, uncensored, unfiltered, all of it right there, because that's where I'm comfortable being. But I'm also inviting people instead of me bludgeoning them over the head with my opinion. That's just how I prefer it, because I rather have a conversation with people instead of forcing my opinion on their throat, just like a lot of other people do, because I hate it when it's done to me. I hate to do it to other people too. But like I said, for this year, I want to lean more on my credentials as a property owner, as a property manager, as a small business owner and operator in the construction space, as a real estate broker, because there's a lot coming out of at our private and our public property that's affecting our wallet, that's making it a lot more difficult. And we're greatly outnumbered, and there's a lot of information always coming at us. And I get it, we're busy. How can we keep up with a lot of this? And I want to cover more. So I will be utilizing Twitter Spaces. I haven't used it yet, but I understand I could record it, so it'll be, I guess, a library of its own. I'm hoping I could download the audio so I could repurpose it as a podcast. Because if I can, great. And that's going to be a way for me to also engage with other accounts and invite them over to weigh in on the conversation through a Twitter Space, because I want to have guests on and have them weigh in, experts in certain fields or whatever, because I need to get this information out to all of you, especially for those of you residing in California, most specifically Southern California, in the counties of Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino, San Diego, even Kern County, for those of you up there, because a lot of what I do even stretches up that far. So with all that in mind, it's the year that I need to inform you a lot more. I have a project that I'm working on. I'm in the development stages. I'm trying to streamline it to the most fundamentals, and that is a book dismantling this rank control oasis that people think will give them a better life, when failed experiments for 40 to 50 years have produced nothing except the opposite of what those programs intended to do, kind of like the welfare state. So with all that, I am going to dedicate time to that book as well. So my show will continue as it has been on a schedule. Last year I was supposed to go bi-weekly. I still went weekly because I just had to with all the stuff that was going on. But with what I intend to do this year, especially with what I guess consider major headliners, this that are more major than even previous interviews that I've done, that are appearing on my show, then I felt I also owe it to everyone that I properly do this, where I'm able to dedicate the time and the effort to producing quality content, not just quantity. And yes, I've received a lot of emails over the past few weeks of different tech companies wanting me to test their products. I'm happy to be able to pick and choose who I work with. I don't have any sponsorships. I do have affiliates that I'm working with now. I haven't announced the majority of them. I've only probably announced two. That would be Ranger Candy Coffee Company. They were my first ones last year, January. Thank you, Larry. And most recently, TRX, the TRX a fitness system, because I do use it. I'm actually looking at it right now because I'm recording this in my garage. And this is something that I use, and I have it hanging in my garage. When my kids aren't using it, I get to use it. But it's something that I've come to depend on when I was living in smaller spaces, and I have more. And the cool thing is I could do more with this. But the point is that I will be announcing more of my affiliates to let you know about the products that I use. And then you can enjoy it for yourselves. I will not endorse a product I don't believe in. And honestly, I don't even believe in endorsing anything. Unless you consider an affiliate an endorsement, then fine. It's got my stamp of approval. That's because I used it first. I don't want anybody to think that I'm going to be pushing something because, oh, look, he's getting paid to push this thing. No, I refuse. That's why I turned down a lot of interviews on my show. I've turned down a lot of products to showcase on my show. I think I've only done one product that I wasn't paid to do this, but I was offered the product if I'll review it. But I told them my only condition is if you do not seek editorial approval. And I said no. That this company believes so much in their product that they were willing to take that risk, and I gave it a positive review because it set out to do what it set out to do. But there's so many grifters out there that give so many people a bad name. Even people that I know and that I trust, I've had myself questioning sometimes, like, come on, yo, like this thing spelled scam at the very beginning. How did you not see that when you were signing the dotted line for a contract to push the product? So these are the kind of things that I don't want to fall into these traps, because I love having my control of my voice. I'm not beholden to any advertisers or sponsors of any other sort. Just like Ranger Candy has no influence over what I say and do, and TRX the same. So with this, I'm only going to highlight products that I've used on the daily for years. Not just something that, like, oh look, this thing is a ringing endorsement. Yeah, but I only used it for like 12 hours. I'm not going to do that to you, and I refuse to do it for you. Transparency for my show is key. That's why I always do these episodes where I give you an up to date, and this is the most important one of the year because it's the one that kicks off the year. It's basically the state of the show address, where I'm giving you behind the scenes as to the projected plans that I'm going to execute this year. And I'm hoping it happens because I'm coming up on the 4th anniversary of the rebranded show. So this is pretty awesome. Like, wow, when March gets here, it's going to be 4 years. That's crazy. But lo and behold, here I am. Despite all the censorship and demonetization from YouTube, last year was a year I was able to recover. I don't think I broke even, but I've gotten so much better than I was before, just redlining a lot of things. So that's where all this comes from, folks. Podcasting, they asked me, oh, my goodness, if you're interested in getting your own podcast or getting into it, one of the number one questions I get, hey, does it pay well? It doesn't pay at all. Unless you're after the sponsorship because that's what you want, then yeah, you could get paid that way, but then you're selling your soul. That's what you want, to go sell your soul. In my case, no, this thing has been a hobby of mine for 19 years, podcasting almost like 15 of those years. But being on distributors the past 4 years, that's been the major difference. Being able to have distributors that can distribute the program. Well, anyway, I'm getting long-winded here, but this is all to say that I'm trying to be of better service to all of you, especially when it comes to the business side of things. I'm covering tech. I only cover the tech that I acquire and intend to use. There are some that have offered me some stuff that is not the typical offerings of theirs. So I'm like, okay, I like this approach because that's what the other company had done before. So I might take them up on that offer. I have received interview requests, some that I'm considering bringing on the show, but it's not going to be a friendly interview because that would be more of a debate because I have my hard stance against some of these products that some of these interviewees want to push. But there are others that wanted to be on my show that were trying to push a product or a gimmick that they have that I strongly disagree with. And it's like, I'm sorry, no, I don't have any space on my show for anything like that. I don't do anything like that. So I won't. And most of all, I hate it when they're asking me if I'll bring this individual on a show and dictating to me how to conduct the interview. I'm like, no, it's my show. I run it this way. You either agree to this or it's not happening. So that's how it's been. I prefer picking and choosing who I bring on my show when I bring them on. That's the beauty of being able to control my own schedule and production and not depend on just a singular thing. So I hope you continue to tune into the Andre Segovia show this year. A lot of different content all streamlined for the show, such as interviews, such as Real Estate Broker Reacts, because yes, locals saw these episodes first, and this one's coming at the end of January. Clips from interviews that you might have missed. I wanted to highlight these things. I don't want these things to just go the way of the ether and die. These are very important things that I believe impart wisdom and speak to people. So I will continue to highlight those things. And of course, my business coverage and tech coverage, especially since we're going to get to CES and then not long after that as the what happens in Barcelona Mobile World Congress. So these things are just around the corner again. So yeah, you bet I'm going to be covering it. By the way, I'm trying to get a collaboration with Crackberry Podcast. That was the first podcast I ever appeared on. Now it's my turn to return the favor. Now that Kevin Mikola has basically I guess you could say rebooted the entire website. So they're going to hit the ground running during CES as I record this, and I'm excited to see what they're able to turn up. But anyway, that's a lot of different things that are going on. And if you heard this long, thank you so very much. I'm going to be spending more of my year reading books like I did the past 6 months. I've read a ton of books. If you haven't seen them on my social media, by all means, go check it out. But yes, I am reading The Expanse book 2. I love the show. So I'm in book 2 and I'm thinking, let me know. I'm thinking, because this might be a locals exclusive first before I bring it over to the main channel. I want to do a comparison of the show and the book as I read them. So if you're interested in that, let me know because I'm excited to share about that. I'm not going to be able to shut up. And here's the last thing I'll say about something along those lines. I will be a guest, a more of a reoccurring guest on another podcast. And that's someone that I collaborated with. We've been on each other's podcast. That's the Critical Introvert Show. And he's rebooting his show to be more pop culture, movie type stuff on a schedule. And we're looking to cover different movies, talking about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Lord of the Rings, and other more obscure things. And I'm looking forward to that. So this is in conjunction to what I do on my show, which is the Critic Corner, only on locals. Travis and I will get together again to do a recording session and hammer out a bunch of things that we couldn't do because we're so busy, but we're excited to do. And of course, like I said, there's always more and more content on locals. And if you support me there, I really do appreciate it. But I've done a lot these past few months to make sure that my show is uncancelable. That's why I'm across so many different platforms. I'll be restreaming a lot of my my Local Broker React series for those that have never seen it, but there will only be on exclusive channels such as Twitch, DLive, and other places I've never seen it before. That goes the same with my interviews. So I'm excited to reshare those to make sure the show doesn't ever go stale or just dry out and these interviews don't get forgotten. But I do appreciate a lot of you, especially if you tuned in this far. You want to check out different ways to support me or buy the stuff that I use, such as tech or things that I love, such as movies and books, then those links are all available at theundersegovia.com, theundersegovia.com/shop. So thank you so much for tuning in. Happy New Year to you all. I hope it's better than 2022. It's in your hands. Make the most of it. And I hope you make me part of your journey in 2023. See you in the next one.